Good evening. I'm Tech 5 investigative reporter Dave Bowman. Very honored to be here for this Facebook Live. And the reason we are here tonight, it is Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month. It is why I'm wearing a purple tie, and it is why and my guests you'll see wearing purple. We'll introduce them and have them introduce themselves in a minute. I wanted to tell you why it is really important to me to be a part of this effort. November is Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, and why it is important to so many people to bring awareness about Alzheimer's disease. My mother's Dougie Bowman. She's 89 years old and currently in hospice and at the end stage of Alzheimer's. That's her on the right with my two brothers. This picture was taken probably when she was at her very early stages, but I just want to tell you a little bit about her and why Alzheimer's disease is such a cruel thief and a memory robber. My mom, you heard me right, her name's Dougie Douglas. She's from Canada, and I guess it's tradition to name a daughter a boy's name, even if if a parent must have wanted a boy real bad. It's a tradition in Canada. There's an actress named Michael Learned who was a lead on The Waltons, who's also from Canada. So not that unusual. It's also interesting that my mom really loved that song, A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash, when it was a hit. But she was educated at the University of Pennsylvania, bright woman, Ivy League school, worked for several years, a half century as a physical therapist. She worked until she was 82. And when I asked her, and she's in her 80s, why she said she was still working, she said, my parents worked really hard to put me through college, and I owe it to them to get the most out of this degree and to help people as long as I can. She also grew up in Chatham, Massachusetts, a town on Cape Cod. She was with the Board of Selectmen for 16 years and did 2 terms as the head of the Board of Selectmen, or as people in my town said, Dougie runs the town. It's awful for anyone to see a family member go through Alzheimer's. It started out with her just, now suddenly not remembering where she parked her car. She would start to tell the same story over and over and over again. My brother, the one you see on the right with his hand on his shoulder, quit his job for a year to be a full-time caretaker, and it just got to be too much. And I know every Alzheimer's patient has a story of a spouse or a child or a close friend that's taking care of them in some way, shape, and form. And I want to get my guest to talk a little bit about it tonight. This is our guest, Tanya. Let me get your last name one more time.
Miller.
Tanya Miller. And Tanya is co-chair of the Walk to End Alzheimer's that takes place in Boca Raton on Saturday. We'll talk about the event before the night is over and how important it is. Also, Matthew Northfleet is the senior program director for the Southeast Florida chapter of the American Alzheimer's Association. Tanya, let's first of all talk about your story. Why was it important for you to get involved in the cause and to go so far as to co-chair a very important event that's taking place this weekend?
Yeah, sure. I just want to make one correction. The Walk to End Alzheimer's for Boca Raton will be taking place on Sunday, November 14th. So just
thank you for that. My apologies. We had one last Saturday, and I'm getting my dates mixed up. But go ahead, Tanya.
That's okay. I just wanted to make that clear. So our journey started in 2015 when my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease at the age of 65. And it was a big blow to our family, as you, Dave, expressed as well for you. And through this journey, it's now been 6 years. I live here in Florida in Delray Beach, and my mom lives in San Diego, California. And we are so close. And so, as you can imagine, trying to caregive from 3,000 miles away is extremely challenging. But we managed to make it work. And, we were noticing things like, I'll give it one example. My mom and I went to go get pedicures together on one of my visits to see her. And she leaned over to me and said, I want to pay for both of us, but I don't know how much to tip. Can you help me with the tip? And I said, of course I can, but I knew immediately that that was something that wasn't typical for her. So start noticing different changes in behavioral patterns and things like that. You mentioned also how your brother Dave had to quit his job for a year to take care of your mom. And I also did the same. I left my job a couple years ago because flying back and forth by coastal was just taking such a toll on me that I had to leave my job. I got involved with the Alzheimer's Association really once my mom was diagnosed so that I could learn and educate about the disease and to feel camaraderie here in Boca. Since my mom lives far away, I still would have people that I could lean on and depend on and talk to about the changes that were going to take place over the years with my mom and our journey with Alzheimer's. So that was how I got involved, and I've been walking in the walk for several years. I was on the committee for 3 years, and then I was asked last year to co-chair, and very honored to be a co-chair, and I feel that it's something that we have to talk about. We're hearing more and more people that are being diagnosed with this, and it's too important not to talk about it and to be vocal and to speak up. And if I can help lead the way with this walk, then that's something that I wanted to take on. So,
and we'll get more on the details of where and when as the time goes on. Michael, let's talk a little bit about first of all, one of the interesting things is I think people tend to think dementia and Alzheimer's are the same thing. Is there a differentiation? Is it one of those things like all Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, but not all dementia is Alzheimer's? Tell us a little bit about that, because I think for the purposes of this discussion, we really need to separate and fine tune that.
Okay. Well, first, as a trainer and a coach, I came from a caregiving background. So part of my background, I started out as a CNA, which is a certified nursing assistant. So where my training started was at the bottom, as you would call it. So I learned the dirty work. I learned the dirty part about it. The main thing about your question that I find interesting, I like to coach and say, dementia is like an ice cream, okay? And Alzheimer's is one of the different types of dementias. There's many types. So Alzheimer's is the main type of dementia. So it's not the same thing. And you hear people say, oh, I have dementia. And it's like, you have dementia from what? What is the symptoms? How do you have dementia? Is it from Alzheimer's? Is it from a blow to the head? Is it from some type of cardiac issue? So that's the differentiate. Dementia is the umbrella of the disease, and Alzheimer's is the main type of dementia.
So all Fords are vehicles, but not all vehicles are Fords, I guess is what we're talking about.
There you go. That's okay.
It. Tanya, tell me in your mom's situation, how quickly things went into your understanding, how long can one live with Alzheimer's from just, I'm not asking you to make the medical, but from what you understand, when, take me through the stages of when things get to from, if you will, point A to point B. I know with my mother, she's been diagnosed now for 5 years. We believe she's had it for 7, maybe 8. But tell me your experience in terms of how long and when things. You said you got to the point where you couldn't do the bicoastal stuff, but when did you get to the point where you knew she couldn't have been on one?
Sure. So in the beginning, there was certain things that couldn't be processed, like money changing, like I explained before in my story. Simple things like that. She couldn't figure out her way with directions, so the driver's license was taken away. And those were really difficult times in the beginning because she sort of, at the time she had the diagnosis, was mildly cognitively impaired. So she still could do some of her forms of daily activity. And, she could, cook a meal if she needed to, get dressed. Those are the things I'm talking about. Be out with her friends, but she might not be able to process other smaller things like being able to figure out directions and things like that. Keep a checkbook. So in the beginning, that was a very challenging part to accept because there was a lot of fear of what was going to happen down the pipeline. And so that lasted for probably 2 years. And then slowly we started to see an inability to maybe, put a sock on or know where to put the sock. Maybe she thought it was supposed to go on a hand, but it really is supposed to go on a foot. Things like that. So that was when we felt that we probably needed to get a caregiver to kind of supervise and make sure that she was safe, in the house if my stepdad wasn't home with her and so forth, because you want to make sure that your loved one is safe and with somebody that could be, watching them. What I did do that was really creative was when I realized my mom could not keep a calendar. I had read a lot about the disease, and I know that socialization was really, really important. And I know for me, my mom was always really social, had lots of friends, and I didn't want people to be afraid to come and visit her and be with her. I wanted her to feel support and love through this whole journey. And so I created this social calendar online, giving opportunities for people to come by the house, to take her to lunch, to take her for a coffee. And the social calendar was filled every time I would put it up. And that was beautiful because we were able to keep that together. Slowly, she started to get less and less able to be out on a regular basis. And then, of course, with COVID, that added another level of, isolation, which was also really challenging. Thankfully for me, I was communicating with her a lot through FaceTime anyway. So she was able to sort of see me and look at my face. And we would have friends. We did the social calendar by FaceTime. But now, in the later stages, I would say that my mom's in her latter stages of the disease. She needs help with everything, all of her activities of daily living. And we have round the clock care for her. And that's basically what happens towards the end is less and less things that she can do. But that's basically, if I want to take you through, I'd rather defer to Michael. I think I've heard that the average lifespan is 8 years, but I'd like to defer to Michael on that. So I'm going to.
Go ahead, Michael.
You're right with that. It has extended. It was shorter, but because of research and new developments, it's kind of grown harder. Because what you said about the early engagement and things, that are some of the tools that you use to extend the life of your loved one. If they don't get that early engagement, it's the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. So with the early engagement, it helps to keep the brain healthier and functioning as close to normal as it can be.
Michael, let's talk also about what happened with COVID, because in a lot of places, nursing homes and care facilities went on lockdown, and the socialization that many of these Alzheimer's patients depended on was suddenly taken away. What kind of effect did you notice that it had on the patients and on families?
Well, it was basically an isolation. It just happened that during the period for a while, I consulted at a facility, and the Alzheimer's Association, I have to say, was a godsend to us because you had to develop new ways of socialization, whether it be programs that use laptops or tablets and things. And we were fortunate to get a program that was granted through the Alzheimer's Association that allowed us to connect our facility patients to their family members through Zoom and Skype and things like that. Even it had programs on it that we could gauge if they were still getting the amount of socialization.
I'd love to ask you about one other aspect of Alzheimer's. It really, when I look back on my mother's experience, is the kind of thing that makes me, really breaks my heart. And that is when they're in the early stages of Alzheimer's. You can tell they're losing their brain functions, a lot of them, the forgetfulness, the inability to cope sometimes. But they're also self-aware enough to know that something's wrong. That has to be the scariest experience of a human being's life, to know that your mind's leaving you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I wouldn't know firsthand, but
Yeah.
in the situation of, especially from a caregiver perspective, what I can tell a caregiver is you do not allow yourself to let them know that you know. As I say, it's called deflect and redirect. If, as Tanya talked about, her mother may have put on her socks wrong and things. It's a game. With dealing with Alzheimer's and dementias, you have to keep that person thinking that they are progressing as much as possible, because once you start buying into the fact that you're noticing, they start to notice. But if you ignore or you redirect that you saw that they put the sock on, i.e., examples, when I ran a memory care, I had a 70-year-old gentleman. He was a war hero. He was a man's man. So I couldn't make a big deal about the fact that I had to change him. So when he basically had an accident, I just redirected and said, "Oh my God, what did you do? Oh, I've done that myself. I can't believe it." And you basically give them their dignity and help keep their dignity by ignoring what happened and just redirecting to something else.
I'm going to read one of the questions, one of the comments we're getting from an individual named Derry Roberts, saying, "My wife of 60 plus years died with Alzheimer's at 82 years old. I know what she ate and drank. I'm an 85-year-old that took care of her at home for the 10 years she was suffering. She died in our living room." First of all, Derry, condolences to you. Tanya, you're a younger person that was doing a lot of the care for your mom, and you told us how much that took out of you. I can only imagine how difficult it must be for somebody in their 70s or 80s to take care of a spouse or maybe a sibling with Alzheimer's. Tell me about the energy it takes and how it probably increases over time.
It takes a tremendous amount of energy. It takes a tremendous amount of physical ability. Even, your back can, you're helping somebody in a bathroom, you're helping them in a shower, you're helping them get dressed, your back, it takes a toll on that. Your patience, for us and our family, we choose joy. We try to find the joyous moments and anything that we can, to feel happy about, which obviously can be exhausting too, because you're trying to just smile all the time. And like Michael said, we want to redirect. So you don't want to make anybody more nervous or scared than they might already be. And so it takes a tremendous toll on caregivers, and they need the support of their friends and the community. And, that's a lot of why I like to speak out about Alzheimer's and create awareness, because we need to rally around not just the patient, but the families that are caregiving for their loved ones. And, in my situation, my mom has stayed at home, but that it takes a lot of work to orchestrate. We have a team of caregivers that come in the house, and just to manage the workload of all the shifts that come in and out, and takes a tremendous toll. So just being supportive and being good friends to your loved one that may have a family member that has that, I highly encourage anybody that's listening to do that. And also, I don't know if you're going to go there, Dave, but I wanted to make sure I talk about music and how much that can spark memories. I don't know if that did that for your mom, Dave, if you ever, but
it did. And her dad, my biological grandfather, was a musician, and my mother was an excellent piano player. So that, when you would play music, it seemed to have a calming effect. Every so often in the early stages, she would recognize the song. She could, would pick up a few of the words of a Beatles tune, and it was kind of something that I think had a calming effect. Michael, let me ask you this. Does music have that kind of effect on people?
Music has an awesome effect. In any programming that I've ever done in a memory care, music is always a key. I even did a program that was called Vibe Drumming, and it was awesome. And they basically give them a drum, and the vibrations were, it had a healing effect to them, and to their mental psyche. So yes, music is key. I even had people that they couldn't remember their name, or they couldn't remember what they did yesterday, but you could put them in front of a piano and they play beautiful music. And so in activities and engagement, I would use those residents in the facilities to play music for other residents. And you just watch them dance and watch their spirits get lifted.
Michael, I want to change the subject a little bit now and go to some of the financial parts of this. The first part I want to tell you about my brother Andrew. If he were not living in the house with my mom, because you get so many of the telemarketers and you get so many of the scams. As a family, we are convinced that had my brother not, been a full-time caretaker and made sure he got the phone, that the telemarketers trying to pull the scams would have easily found an easy mark and would have been able to take quite a bit of what was hers. Tell me on, the kinds of things like that you really need to be on the lookout for. People who might take advantage of an Alzheimer's patient and take advantage of their condition.
Well, there are so many out there. Instead of telling you those, what I can tell you is what needs to happen. And I have to coach caregivers on this a lot. You can't let the person that you know is in the decline dictate things that you need to take care of. So I've had coachings where I've had to have I've coached family members to take the checkbooks and give them a checkbook that has nothing in it, i.e., they can have a Chase account, but yet you give them a Bank of America account that has nothing in it, that has no legitimacy. And if they want to write checks, they write checks, but you make sure that you contact the banks and let them know that this is a default account and so forth, that it doesn't count for anything. Credit cards that are expired, things like that. You make sure that they don't have access enough to give or do anything with scams, because you can't protect them from every scam that's there. So you have to make sure that you fail safe things to where they don't have access to enough that they can get to.
Tanya, you had mentioned that one of the earliest markings with your mother was her inability to handle finances.
Yep, that's correct. The processing piece for her was extremely challenging, figuring things out in that way. And so, you're talking about being worried about the financial piece for somebody living with Alzheimer's. It's really important that in the early stages, when they have mild cognitive impairment, that they go ahead and make plans, sit down with estate planning, some sort of an attorney, so that they can have a lot of paperwork and things like that filled out, so that they can be prepared and set up so that there are processes in place to protect them from certain things that could happen, where they could be, wiped out financially by making bad decisions. So definitely should plan ahead while they're in the early stages and still able to communicate.
Tell us about the walk that is coming up Sunday, Tanya. And if you will, tell us a little bit about how many people you expect to have, how much money you expect to raise, and the kind of kinship you hope to have with people. Because I went to the one that was in down just south of West Palm in Dreyer Park a couple of weeks ago, and I have to tell you, it was great meeting people. It was great, it wasn't so much great, but it was there was a bond there because you have so many other people that have a shared experience, and it's challenging. This is video, by the way, that you see on our screen right now on Facebook Live. I believe this was last weekend's in the Treasure Coast, where you had John Shaman and Ashley Walters, our two anchors, were co-chairing it, and they did very well. What are you hoping this weekend, Sunday, brings, Tanya?
So the walk is next Sunday, the 14th of November. It's going to be at South County Park in West Boca. Starts at 8 a.m. And we're expecting hopefully 1,000 plus participants. We're hoping. We have already raised $240,000 to date. And we're getting closer to our goal every day. So anyone that wants to participate, please sign up, log in. You can go to act.alz.org/Boca to register if you're interested and you're in our area of the Boca Raton, Delray Beach, that area. And we are going to have an opening ceremonies and a walk. It's not a competitive walk. It's a casual type of a walk. People can walk at their own pace, walk with your team members, feel support and camaraderie, amongst people that are going through similar situations, or just friends that want to come out and support other friends that are going through living with family members or somebody that has Alzheimer's or dementia and any other form of dementia. So it should be a really nice, hopefully a very nice morning, and we are looking forward to the walk.
And just to give a tip here, although you gave the webpage, it's very hard verbally to get that. So let me just suggest you Google Boca Raton Alzheimer's Walk and put in the date of Sunday, November 14th on it. It'll take you to a webpage. Am I right on that, Tanya? That should make it a little bit easier.
It should. Okay. I think it should.
Yeah.
And if you need any other assistance, you can always go to alz.org. There's a lot of great information on there, training and support. We really go with the training and education pieces and support groups for caregivers, especially.
And let's talk about it, because what Tanya's walk is doing, raising essentially $250,000, could be by the time it's all up. That's phenomenal. When the money goes to the Alzheimer's Association chapters, Michael, where does it go? How does it get broken up? It
more so goes to research and development for new advancements. We're the largest supporter for advancements for Alzheimer's disease. So all that funding that you get, that's what helps us get out there and get in the forefront of trying to cure the disease.
And let me ask you about what's going on. I know you're not a doctor in the medical front. We had a drug recently approved by the FDA, though some question its effectiveness. It brought a lot of hope, but I know the Cleveland clinics around here right now won't prescribe it because they believe more research is needed. Tell me the kind of strides, Michael, that we've made in the last few years. If this is where we were 10 years ago and this is the cure, have we moved the needle, or do we still have a long ways to go?
Well, the needle has moved, but as we always say, there's no cure for Alzheimer's disease. But I will just tell you this: with the new drug being approved, you have to have a first, a second, and a third approval in order to get things started. So it is an advancement towards helping get to a cure.
In addition, I know here in the state, I neglected to say that we are going to have the brain bus at our walk. And hopefully, Michael, you can explain a little bit more about what the brain bus does, but it's a mobile unit, and it's really primarily helps. It helps all over the state, but especially in rural areas where they may not have as much access to medical care. And it's really been a phenomenal resource, and we're very happy that we'll be able to have that at our walk, and people will be able to see it.
Michael, tell me about the brain bus.
The brain bus is a collaboration with Department of Elder Affairs, and basically it's allowing the Alzheimer's Association to get our programming in a box, or in a bus, as we call it, and take it to places that normally may not be able to get face-to-face with program coordinators and things like that. So, we have programs that they do from the brain bus. You can do consults and things. You can get a lot of information as well as sign up for programs with the Alzheimer's Association. So it's basically putting Alzheimer's Association programming in a box.
Tell me, Michael, a little bit about I'll pin you down to three things. What are the three most important things the Alzheimer's Association does for people both with the disease and caregivers, that are obviously struggling mentally, physically, and or financially, to help their loved ones who have the affliction?
Okay. Well, one thing, the first thing is we're going to help you get early stage engagement. If you're looking for that, we're going to help you get the early stage engagement through Alzheimer's Association programming and support group. We can get you connected and get you information to get connected with state and county programs that can help assist with some type of financial need if you need it, such as like the CARES programs or the ADRC. We also go out and we do training. One of the major things as part of my position is my team gets out into companies that have caregivers. Me coming from a caregiver background, it's very important to the Alzheimer's Association that we make sure that caregivers get the training that they need to deal with people with Alzheimer's or other dementias as well. That is the big key is we can help other companies leverage and get training for their staff, which helps them care for people a lot better.
Tanya, one of the things about the walks, and I assume you've taken parts in them before, is I think one of the most powerful moments. You have a different colored flower for people to hold up if they have Alzheimer's, if they've lost somebody to Alzheimer's, if they're currently a caregiver to somebody, and then there's the white flower that's never been given out but held up. Tell me about that, because that's a moment that really gets you right here when you're there.
Oh, it does. I remember my first walk and just how powerful it was when they called on stage, the various people to represent the flower, and then there was somebody that was holding their flower that has Alzheimer's, and how brave they were to walk out on stage and share that with the public. And of course, how moved it is to think that one day somebody will hold that white flower as the first survivor. I have my pin on tonight, my yellow flower pin. Yellow represents the caregiving, the flower for those that are caregiving for somebody that has Alzheimer's. So that's why I'm wearing my yellow pin tonight. And I also have a picture of me and my mom, which I wore in Tallahassee when I rallied in Tally back in February of 2020 before COVID. So, it's a moving moment. We will be having that again. We have a promise garden that will be in our walk, a field of flowers that you'll see, and people will be placing the flowers. And it's a powerful moment to see everybody coming together to support each other, whether somebody is passed from it, somebody is caring, somebody's a friend, somebody that has it. So
if you're ever at a walk and you see that white flower moment, which is what you explained will be someday to represent the first person who survives Alzheimer's, it's just a very powerful moment for a fundraiser like that. Michael, I want to ask you about some of the challenges you have as an association. Look, nobody's going to dispute, certainly nobody on this call is going to dispute that trying to find a cure and trying to better the lives of people and caregivers involving Alzheimer's isn't a noble cause. Of course it is, but you're out there competing with other charities that help the needy. You're out there competing for limited dollars with other afflictions that may affect even more people. And how tough is it? How tough is it to get your name out there, to get Alzheimer's out there, when, there's a lot of other voices and very credible and worthy ones competing for your limited charity dollars?
I don't think it's a tough thing in my eyes. I mean, you just have to be passionate about what we're doing. And, I think the biggest obstacle I see is getting other demographics in certain race demographics to start participating more. There are so many people out there that need information about Alzheimer's disease and that are a lot more susceptible of getting Alzheimer's disease. That is, I think, our biggest challenge is getting these demographics to start participating. Another thing is research. It's a situation that if you don't get involved in research, how do you know something works for your particular, sector? And I think those are two of the main things that I find difficult. I don't find it so much difficult of getting people to support the organization because it's affecting just as many people as these other diseases are. And, if something's affecting you personally, you're going to support that.
Well, let's talk about that demographics. Is Alzheimer's have any difference in concentration among race, ethnic background, parts of the world where ancestors are from, that sort of stuff, or even geographic? Is it a rich poor thing? Tell me what we know about the demographics, or does Alzheimer's not discriminate?
Alzheimer's doesn't discriminate. And, it's just that I think research is showing now that especially in the African American community and in the Hispanic community, there is a rise in what's called early onset. They're doing research on different things to say, hey, if this demographic's doing this and they have a lower rate, what could this demographic be doing that's giving them a higher rate? But as I coach most times when I'm out on trainings and in public, you have to get involved. I tell everyone when I go in those communities, you have to get involved.
Tanya, when in your particular case, how old was your mom when she received the diagnosis?
She was diagnosed at 65.
That's a little bit early, isn't it? I mean,
young. I think technically early onset is 64 or less, Michael. I don't know, but basically she probably had this prior to, as before it actually was diagnosed, and
about 5 years prior.
So, yeah, and young, vibrant woman, athletic, used to be a jogger and skier and, and still did a lot of that in the earlier stages. We kept active, being physically active is really, really important. You want to keep, walking or doing activity or bike riding or whatever, you enjoy doing, but it's really important to stay active and not be sedentary. I think that helps, a lot with not just, your mental state will be better when you exercise too. And hopefully it can help, lengthen the, before you get to the next stage, it can help.
I'll share with you. In my case, my mom was an avid golfer. I think she once had an 8 handicap, and she was a club champion when she was in her late 30s and early 40s. An excellent golfer. And the last time I played golf with her, she actually made it's not the last time. That's one of the last times where, and you can see she still has a pretty good follow through. That was taken when she was about 83 years old. But I think the last time I played with her, and this is a course she's played hundreds, if not more than 1,000 times. We get out in the middle of a course and she hits her tee shot, and then she's aiming at a completely different green. I go, Mom, this is where the hole is. And she would insist it was on the other green. And that's really when we knew there was a serious problem. I mean, we had plenty of signs up, but that was a heartbreaking moment. But on the other hand, we did keep her active. We did, at least go to the driving range and hit a few, or would putt. And I think that made her feel good. And it was, it's not the perfect cardio activity, but it's activity.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here. One more time, Michael, tell me, if you will, where people need to go if they can reach your organization, people specifically seeking both health and information. And repeat one more time, because getting involved is really important.
You can go to alz.org for the website, and that can also get you connected with our consult team. You can dial 800-272-3900. That is our 24/7 helpline. That number, I'll repeat again, 800-272-3900. That is the helpline. If you have any issues, or if someone needs help or has questions, they can call that number 24 hours a day. And there's always someone on there to answer questions. And coming from the program side of things, I've remembering some of the helpline people being on a call for 8 hours because someone need help.
Wow.
In the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. So yeah, call that number if someone needs assistance.
And Tanya Miller, tell us one more time about the walk you have Sunday, November 14th. Very exciting event in Boca Raton.
Thank you. The walk to end Alzheimer's Boca Raton will be at South County Park on Sunday, November 14th at 8 a.m. Please come, bring your families, bring your friends, sign up. I think I just said that, 8 a.m. and it'll be a non-competitive walk. It's just going to be a nice walk. It's a beautiful setting, and come. We welcome everybody to come, and we hope to see you there.
A stroll through the park, and the advantage of having November as Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month is the fact that at 8 a.m. on a mid-November Sunday, the walking weather could be just about perfect, weather, precipitation permitting, of course. But Tanya Miller, Michael Norfleet, thank you so much for your time. We hope we've given you a little bit of insight where you can turn. And if nothing else, you got to hang out with people for a few minutes tonight who have similar concerns and similar stories. And we know how you feel. We know what you're going through because we're going through it ourselves in our own way. And thank you again. I'm Contact 5 investigative reporter Dave Bowman for WPTV and WPTV.com. Have a great night.